Okay, here we go, recreating a magazine cover. Recreating a magazine cover. This seems like it would be no problem. There's only a few elements here, but it's a lot of work. There's a lot of text that you have to get right. Two or three different fonts going on here, a whole bunch of shapes, a gradation, a character in the middle. Um, let's sort of begin with the background. And if you check here, I've got everything already built because this would take me forever to build this and then teach you guys about it. So my background I created first, but it ended up way up there. So let's put it here. And if I turn it on, you can see it kind of mimics that background pretty well. If I move it out of the way, you can see that it fits in there. So how did I do that? Well, this is just a rectangle, right? So if I select that, I can go into here to the fills. If I double click on fills, you can see I've chosen a gradient, and then I've went in with the gradient and chosen the darker color and the lighter color from the original background there. And then I've moved this around, and I've also chosen the kind of gradient this is a where the bright is in the middle instead of dark on one side to light. So this is kind of um, a radial thing. Oh, well. No, go back. I accidentally selected the screen color. Let's see if I can get back. There we go. So um, save your work, kids. So there is my gradient, and like I said, that's a great job for matching it. And it's a vector object, so I can make it bigger or smaller, no problem. Hide that. So the second thing I did was remove the main character, and I did that by clicking on this main thing here and going select, and then subject. And then I went in after I selected the subject. Ooh, and let me hide both of these, and you can see that this is what it gave me. And then I had to, you can see where all the text is on his jacket, so I had to go in and hand color that out with, I just used a paintbrush and painted it all back in. It's so dark that you can barely see what's going on, although if I do mine, you can kind of see my brush marks and stuff. It'll have text over it, so you probably won't notice it. Probably, if I were you guys, I'd do a nicer job than I did. There you go. And so that gives us these two bits here. Now, from here, I can hide those. And I just went around and recreated all the text in here. So let's find the CEO one there. There's my CEO right on top, and you can see it kind of matches a little bit. Some of these, I wasn't sure if they had squished the fonts or extended them. You can also come over here and use this to vary the spacing on them. Here, this one. If you actually have the text tool up. So I couldn't get the E and the O right at the same time. So they're using a different font. I could have, had I gone through and replaced each letter by hand, but it's not that off, I don't think. It's a slightly different font, but this is as best I can do. So part of that, right, if you don't know what font this is, if your magazine, you have fonts on it that don't match, just type something out and then go into here to your fonts and you can just travel through them. So this one is Bakersfield Old, but I can, with this selected, I can click on this and then using the down arrow, I can cycle through fonts until I find one that kind of matches. Like that one kind of matches a little bit, but not as pointy as the other one I had. That one, oh, Country School Book is also very close. Nice. Oh, we can go with that. Maybe if I squish it. Oh, look at that. That's even closer than I had before. Nice. So that's how I find fonts. If you can't find the font you want, you can go on the internet and all you have to do is download the font into your computer's font directory, and then you'll be able to call up the font there. Great. So I went around and recreated the shapes. I went all over the place. Let me just turn on all the text I have. I just went through and retyped this so it was funny and retyped that so it was funny. Not super funny. The 30 plus I had to make its own thing because it's such a difference. There, tech issue there, and then my black spot there. All my alternate text. Some of it I didn't move into the way, I just typed it. So now if I go in and turn this off, here's all the text. So this is the text that's there before. Underneath you can kind of see it. And actually here, I'll move this one way up to the top. So there's what the real one looks like, and there's what the one I'm creating looks like. The 30's a little different. My font's a little bit, I'll move it back down here. Anyway, so once you get it to this point, and I can turn on my background, and I can turn on my character. And so, CEO. If you want to put a hole in your text, you either have to turn this into a raster image, which is just a right click and rasterize the type, because I have to have that little cutout, right, for the word magazine. Like that. Or you could have created a mask. Turning it into a raster is way easier. All right, what am I missing? All my text is just a little bit off. So now I'm going to lock this layer here. So I can't select it. And I'm going to go in and kind of, now that I've created all my text, I can go in and start moving it around. And you can see that, of course, my text is a little more shiny than the original one, because the one that I grabbed originally is low rent. No, it's low resolution. Sometimes you need to separate these things out in order to make them work. And then sometimes, like for this, this is a bold, extra condensed bold, but this is just a condensed bold. So here, if you come here, these are all the different variations of this Acronym variable concept type, which I thought was kind of like the the secondary type on the thing. Okay, so we've done a bunch of work there, creating, kind of trying to make this match as best we can. Now, oh, I don't think I've changed that part there. Did I? No. What does it say? I get to see me in action. The extraordinary corporate disruptor. So I'm going to click there. I have no idea why it wants to be 2 points. I'm going to go 18. And I need to set this back to auto. And this to 0 because I want it to type normally. I don't want it to be special. I can change it later on, but you don't want it to start off that way. All right. And so I'm going to type the extraordinary. Cap blocks. Okay. I get it. SPH. Spifen. What are bivalves? They siphon? I'm gonna look it up on the internet because I need a descriptor for a bivalve. There we go. Extraordinary bivalve. Look at that. Expert. Okay. So now we got to make this text that I just wrote. By the way, I do have like an under the sea sort of theme going on here. All right, extraordinary bivalve. And see, I'm just kind of scaling this. I'm holding down Control with the text thing selected, and it allows me to then go in there and do stuff. Okay, extraordinary bivalve mollusca sediment expert. Cool. All right, so you can see I've kind of, take all this off and turn this on. You can see I've kind of taken all the, this is horrible, by the way, bad graphic design. Thanks, CEO Magazine. Oh, that's because he's got it on his head. Interesting. So you can see I've replaced. I'm not showing the old one, and I can go through and turn all this stuff off. Do 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 do. There you go. That's how you rebuild it. Now I want to do a little Photoshop on his face because it's a Photoshop class. Okay, that'll be in part 2.